Hello, Combat, and welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. In this video, we're going to be looking at 10 decks a week. We just had an OTA that was okay. There was some interesting changes, like Adam Warlock's a very interesting change. Scorpion, pretty decent change. Like, it's not exciting, right? Doom got a little nerf. Wiccan got a little nerf. I've seen people cry about Wiccan nerf that didn't make sense. But if you watch my videos a lot when I've talked about Wiccan stuff, I did say a nerf was coming at some point, and 1 power is probably about right. I think it doesn't kill the card, it just makes it a little bit weaker, right? 1 power can matter sometimes, so I'm glad they didn't like overkill it. But taking 1 power off is fine, right? The card was everywhere. It was played a little bit too much. What else got changed? I can't actually remember. But anyways, we'll look at the decks. I do have some Ross decks. I normally show like the new card decks, but I actually think Thaddeus Ross is the worst card there's been in a very long time in Snap. Like very, very long time. I just when I was playing the card to do videos on it, I won more not drawing the card, and that says everything I need to know about the card. And then when I finally drew it, nobody was skipping turns because there's a lot of Wiccan going around. So I already drew the card, so it just felt pointless to play. Might have a turn someday, but we've only got 2 decks for it. One of them's just been nerfed. But anyways, let's get into the deck, shall we? So first deck is an Ajax deck. It's got Scorpion in here. This deck's always been around and always been kind of strong, right? It's just kind of Scorpion's just made it a little bit stronger now. It's got extra power and there's an extra reason to play it over something else that you might have had in here. So yeah, like Scorpion, Cassandra Nova Scorpion stuff really messes up Surtur stuff, right? So you can't get 10 power for Scar and 10 power to buff the Surtur stuff, even though the deck's been nerfed anyways, right? The negative stuff can do works to discard stuff, right? So it's a pretty decent deck. Next up, Adam Warlock in this kind of like cheap deck. I did a version of this, but I didn't have Iron Man in mind. I had more ones, I think. Yeah, I had a Nico at least, right? And I didn't have Mystique. But this is the greedier version to help you go tall, because when I played this deck, I liked it, but I also struggled to match a lot of power without having to like leave myself open to a Shadow King or a Shang-Chi, right? Where this one gives you that extra reach with the Iron Man Mystique stuff, so it's pretty nice. Next up, we've got another Adam Warlock, but it's kind of like a Galacta deck, right? We've got way too many 4s to be honest, but you know, you Zabo in here. Kitty, I don't know why Kitty's in this list. Like, I found this list online, it was doing really well. I don't really. I mean, I guess Galacta and Gwen can make a big Kitty, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? It could be someone else. So, I mean, Kitty got a buff, right? Didn't she go from a 1-0 to a 1-1? No, it was Sunspot that got the buff. I knew it was a 1. Yeah. So she's in there. It's not my go-to for a 1, but you know, it's this Galactus deck that's been around for like a week or 2, like doing really well. It's still pretty decent. The Surfer stuff is just great, and then obviously you can catch them out with Galactus. It's a lot easier to do this now that it's not everywhere. Like last week, when me as well, other content creators are putting out decks on this video, because it was like at the top of the meta, well, maybe not top of the meta, but top of the play pool, and just everywhere. Those people are onto it. Next up, Surfer, following on from that deck, just a standard Surfer deck. You got your Galacta and your Gwen in here, Absorbing Man to hit double stuff, Hope to get some extra energy. You've got it's a Killmonger version, so you've got the Nova and stuff like this. Copycat, steal some cards, pretty decent. Where are we? 6. Back to Mill. These next couple of decks are ones that you're probably sick of seeing, but at the same time, you know, are still pretty good, right? So we've got the Mill stuff here. It was getting a little bit worse because there was a fair bit of Mobius around, because Mobius was just a decent tech card for his effect. The card is just kind of awkward to play, but it was like discard stuff, there was certain stuff, there was mill stuff, all this stuff, and a lot of Zabu and stuff like that around as well, right? So it was a bit everywhere. It might not be as played as much now because Certa got nerfed a little bit, Wiccan got touched a little bit, so maybe we see a little less of it. So you can probably fill out the mill stuff again, and then obviously with Mobius being gone, you're not going to get punished as much on the swarms. So discards back. It avoided the OTAs fully, like completely and utterly avoided it. Could be down to the time, because you got to remember patches are put in like a month before, right? They are quite like, they take time. It's not like they decide that day or like that week, right, what they're gonna nerf. They've got to do it before that. So this has been locked in for a little while, so I probably expect a little nerf to discard in the next patch, maybe. But that being said, I don't know if discard is annoying and strong if you leave it, but it is easy to answer, right? So it might get a nerf. I'm not sure, like maybe Bullseye loses a power, you know. Maybe they re-nerf nah, they couldn't touch Frigger again. You just both the maybe Swarm takes a power, or Collector, or Scorn, or something like that. Something might take a 1 power, right? This is a deck that maybe 1 or 2 power comes off at some point. But that being said, like I said, it is easy enough to counter. And then we've got Arashim. Arashim, it's a deck, right? You just kind of put all the cards in that you want to play. Like, I'll be doing Arashim for the weekend missions for Thaddeus. I'll be just sticking them in one of these decks. Probably take Valentina out of this deck and put Thaddeus in to just get over the line, right? Just get the weekend missions done. No messing around, none of that nonsense, right? Just like having the extra energy. The Doom stuff can be nice, right? But you don't actually need it in this stuff because it did get nerfed a little bit. But that being said, it still gets the job done, and having this black and white swirl on it, you know, just to annoy people more, like you playing that with a terrible background. And now to Thaddeus decks, right? So this is probably his best home now. I would have said Certa, but Certa's kind of been nerfed. So this is probably his best in Hela. That being said, there is only 4 cards you can pull, right? Which is nice. But like I said before, Thaddeus just doesn't do anything, right? It's just... maybe if he's a 1. Maybe if he was a 1, right? He'd feel a little bit better. Because I feel like you drop this on 2, like most of the time people are going to play a 2. If they don't, you'll get 1 draw, right? And then they'll play in 3, 4, 5, 6. And the most you're going to get is 1 draw, which can help. But you know, it's so awkward. I just don't like the card. But you know, if you get a game where you're going to draw stuff with Thaddeus, this is great, right? You draw a black card, just discards it. Any cards that you draw in is fit in your deck to get Hela, right? That is the game plan. And yep. And lastly, Certa stuff. This stuff got nerfed. Certa got nerfed a little bit, right? Well, a little bit, quite a bit, right? It only gets +3 power twice now, so you can go to 11 power. So that's a bit nice. But also Scorpion got a buff, so he gets to play a little bit more. So like, you know, Scorpion comes out, or Cassandra Nova. All these don't cost 10 power anymore. Thaddeus can't draw him, or Certa doesn't get buffs or whatever, right? Can be super annoying. Anyway, there's enough rambling. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the video. I was going to say gameplay, but there's no gameplay. And I'll catch you tomorrow for the video.